Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, Generic Pie, back with another episode of Peeping Tom Bombadil today, which is when I peep on other people's games from the War of the Ring Discord. Um, and before I get into the actual game for today, I just wanted to thank everybody for the nice comments about the War of the Ring experience video that I made recently. If you haven't seen that, I'd please check it out because it took significantly more time than recording these things, which I kind of do off the cuff. It was fun to make, and thanks to Cretchit for being so cool about it. On a side note as well, also please check out Iterelde's new video, which is the second episode of his kind of War of the Ring quiz, which is really, really cool. I'll put a link to both of these videos in the notes below. But anyway, for this episode, it's between good old Silmaril Will, who is always a source of entertaining games. The two videos that Will has shared previously were very fun, and this is a game that Will played against Jake McRae. So let's dive into it. So who's who? I don't even know. So Jake was playing as the Shadow, and Will was playing as the Free People. Um, so some interesting starting cards. You depending on what the dice roll is. Let's find out what the dice roll is. Here's what's going on here. 2 tokens, by the way. Right. So yeah, in theory, here you could, if you wanted to, move once, then play We Prove the Swifter with the second character die, and then use this to play Book of Mazarbel. Probably not advised because you give them a turn 1 Witch King, which you don't want to do. But interesting, you can see what happens. There could be an early Mazarbel, maybe like turn 2 or something like that. Meanwhile, the Shadow has Threats and Promises and Orc Patrol. Threats and Promises, a card never very excited to see, but if you're going to get it, turn 1's the time to get it, I suppose. But then again, it could also delay you the Witch King, depending on what your priorities are. Will says, moves the Fellowship. Their hit is a 3, so dead Gandhi. Easy decision. Threats and Promises is played. Okay. Will says, I like it. Yeah, so Jake's basically echoing my previous sentiments. Isengard go to war. Will check something. Moves the Fellowship again. They are hit again. It's a 2. Is he going to eat it? And he eats the 2. Very good start for the hunt. I mean, the 3 for Gandhi is always good for the Free People, but getting early damage is good. No reveal though. Yeah, that does make a big difference. Sauron goes to war. Will says, I wonder if I can use the token to muster. That's a good point. I've never really thought about that. Actually, no, I think I have asked that, and I believe you cannot use that. Will. So wait, you can't put them to war? Advance a passive nation. Oh, you can move the L because the L's already at war, of course. Yeah. Okay, well they apparently you can use the token, so maybe that's wrong of me, but I thought you couldn't use the token. Anyway, the elves start getting close to war, and with the final die, Sauron goes into Orthanc. Right, we go on to turn number 2. So Will gets Kindred and Ents / Ents Rage, and we get a red tile and Hill Trolls. Okay, so not bad. Would have been nice to reveal the Fellowship so you could play that. Orc Patrol might be able to do that into Moria, which if they manage to get a reveal on the first move. Okay, wow, okay. With that roll, I would be very tempted to do the interesting. Gonna have a little think here. Okay, so this is interesting. I suppose there's a few schools of thought for what you could do with this many hybrids on this turn. One would be to simply do all of your kind of half army moves around the place. Get the Rohan army into position, do Old Forest Road, do Iron Hills. You could also put the elves to war yourself and then double muster, so kind of prepping for, you know, inevitable attacks. You could even wait to see which direction the shadow goes before you do your musters. You could do what I said previously and then use one of these, maybe one of these to maybe the third hybrid to use a ring to move if you want to move against Three Eyes. Debatable. I think you probably do. Three Eyes isn't the end of the world. Or you could even do the what I described previously, the We Prove the Swifter into Mizarble play. So loads of options. I'll be really curious to see what Will goes for. Meanwhile, as the Shadow, you could rush to Witch King. You could, you know, how many attacks they got? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Think that does that quite work because they're only character dice. So move. Yeah, so you can attack into Lorien, and then get the Witch King. So that might be what the Shadow's thinking there. Try and get Lorien under siege. Yeah, they say, what the hell? Sickest threats and promises of all time. I'm not sure, though, because unless the Shadow goes for, like, Gondor, do you really want to be using these hybrids to do kind of mustering with these other nations? I'm not sure you really would, to be honest. So, yeah. Well, let's see what happens. I'm rambling too much. Does go for the We Prove the Swifter play. Okay, I think that's really nice. Does mean that the Shadow is going to get the Witch King this round. But they could have done that themselves anyway. Okay. Decides to go for the Old Forest Road and to consolidate in Morannon. The army marches north. I think Will wisely uses one of the hybrids to get the Old Forest Road guy in place and the Westermet army in place. Morannon goes to Daggerlad. The Southlands and Eastlings go down one step. Will uses a token. Is that going to be to get the elves to war? Yes, get the elves to war. Okay, that's nice because he's waited. So I think that was a mistake by Jake there. I would have 100% have held that. I suppose once you play the token, has the turn order changed? No. So this token's been played after. So at that point, the Shadow still had the initiative, and they could have waited till the last second before playing the muster die in order to give them the chance of maybe hopefully getting the Witch King this turn. That's not going to happen now. Will puts in a red tile. Oh, sorry, Jake puts in a red tile. Elven Elite goes to Woodland Realm, and now presumably with the final die, we're going to get Mizarble. I think that's the play. So Daggerlad starts marching towards Minas Tirith into North Ithilien. Okay, interesting. Wait. Oh, okay. So using a hybrid to get one guy into Minas Tirith. I mean, usually, you know, I'd say I don't know what the odds are, but I'd say fairly common that you just get that move for free anyway. When they attack into here, you might draw scouts next turn, which gives you that for free anyway. There's still, I think, 3 scouts left in the deck. This move, I don't think provides much value. I would have, since you've gone to the effort of doing this, I would just be playing Mizarble, getting that done, and then at least means you don't have to commit a die to it later. But yeah. Classic always seems to be the way. When you have Mizarble, you also get Danes, which isn't bad, but it's just like slightly. Dane is just much less, you know, of a necessity when you have Mizarble. Lure of the Ring and Monsters Row, so kind of not the best cards for Shadow here. Hill Trolls is good, and I mean, it's okay. Mid cards, I would say. Except for Hill Trolls, which I think is really strong. Right, so another 3 eyes in the box for the Shadow. So lots of eyes in the box. And Will is certainly going to get Gandalf this turn with that many Wills. The Southrons are not quite at war yet. Not that Day Without Dawn is an option this turn. Gandalf comes into Fangorn. Monsters Roused is played. Okay, you don't see that too often. Wonder what the thinking is there. Especially, I think that's even given the fact that the elves are at war. I think that's a little bit weaker than it would be normally. I'm not sure it's particularly strong normally anyway. But could be handy for, you know, I don't know really. I'm not sure what's that going to really do for the shadow. Okay, starts grouping up the Nern fellas up to Gorgoroth and other guys in Troll Shores. The Fellowship moves against 3 eyes. This could be really crucial. They get a reveal here. It really opens things up for the shadow. No, okay, that was big because it was very, very likely you'd get trapped in Mordor. Sorry, Moria. Continues to group up armies in Troll Shores. I guess Will's actually got Kindred, I believe. Yeah, so not even that worried about getting a muster into here, because I suppose you could attack with this like teeny tiny army. Not this turn because they don't have the dice for it. But anyway, so armies group up in Minas Morgul and in Troll Shores. Kindred now is played, which means Will can cycle cards. Cycles into Faramir's. Rangers. Okay, so for the sake of the shadow, you've really got to attack into Osgiliath right now, or you're in for a while. Actually, no, you can't actually play it this turn. I thought it because you need an army die, but definitely can't wait around here too long. You're going to get in trouble. Hill Trolls into Narrows the Forest. So looks like the shadow is setting a lot of things up. But Will is going to be able to muster again in Woodland Realm, presumably, if he wants to. Quick question. Gandhi's mustering ability needs to be inside the Bonds of Nation to muster using any die, right? Yeah, I don't even know there. Is it just within the borders of the nation, or is it within a stronghold or a city? I can't remember. Now we get the Mazarbel. Oh yeah, so Gandhi has moved to Eastern Met. I didn't see when that happened, but Gandhi. Oh, so that was part of Mazarbel. So the Gandhi man has left his forest enclave. Just going for a little stroll. Heads to Eastern Met, and these hear him just like, "What are you doing, Gandhi man?" Right. Old Forest Road. So is that because of threats and promises? He wants to deal with threats and promises by getting Gandhi in here. And would that get it off the table? That would be interesting. Old Forest Road is now attacked. Oh, if only you knew, Jake. If only you knew. But I guess Jake is also trying to preserve threats and promises. That's why he hasn't been attacking into here or here, I guess. He's trying to find the right moment to do it. But anyway, so now it's gone for Forest Road. If only you'd gone for Skiliath. Because you are going to get Faramir, baby. North go down. That should get rid of threats and promises, I believe. The Old Forest Road guy gets destroyed. Threats and promises goes away, and the army goes up to Old Forest Road. And we go on to turn number 4. So Grimbeorn. So we have got a Scouts. And the Horn of Gondor. And the Shadow gets Morgul Wound and Shadows Gather. So Shadows Gather will be very useful for when if you can get this under siege before it musters again, in which case it's going to be borderline like untakeable. That's a very nice Shadows Gather position from Moria to Rivendell. Will says, yeah, it was dumb AF to move Gandhi, probably. Oh well. We shall see. We shall see. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Is there anywhere else Gandhi can now get to because of his new strategic position of Eastern Met, perhaps? 1, 2, 3. Still can't quite get to Dol Amroth. I mean, don't know why I'm even looking at this shit. Right, so now we'll get an extra elite into Woodland Realm. That's nice. Woodland Realm is now attacked, put under siege by a pretty small army. And Jake leaves one behind. Not sure why there. I think you need every last orc you can get your hands on to fight in the Woodland Realm. I think they're having some kind of lag. Now we get the Faramir's Rangers inevitably. Yep. Let's see. One hit. And then the muster. Very nice, very nice. Minas Morgul comes out to South Athelion. And oh, okay, that's why the orc was there to take over Carrick. Fair enough. Fair enough. I just guess, I think, given the nature of this small army, I don't think it would have been a huge priority to do that. Especially when for once these guys are actually grouped up. I don't know what they would even do either though. So the North go to step 1. Pass. Wait. Never mind. Decides to move the Fellowship against One Eye this time. They are missed. Rivendell is now attacked. Okay, with a very small army. But that, unless he does a field battle, that does mean A, you're getting a reroll on the Fellowship, and B, they can't muster anymore in Rivendell. I mean, there is an argument there for Will perhaps doing the double single muster in Rivendell and Lorien, just to make, because at this point the Shadow's invested quite a lot of dice into this. So, or maybe you just think, screw it, this is such a small army, who cares? He goes to fight. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. You can actually play a scouts here and scout back into this. It looks like he's playing Danes, I'm guessing, going for the Valor. Does the Shadow going to play a card? No card? Yeah, it's going for the Valor. Jake gets 2 hits, which is actually very good. And Will gets 2 hits back. Jake decides to stop, but that does mean that you can muster again. But these elven units are precious. They're very precious. And you gave him essentially a free hit. I'm not sure what the benefit, given if you had a big force pool like the Rohan or the Gondor, I think that would be a better play. But because the elven force pool is so small, I'm not sure about it. It does mean you stop them getting a reroll on you, but is it that bad to have a reroll on you when given how decent your movement has gone so far? It would pressure the free people to declare in Dimril Dale though next turn, which would in turn mean that Orc Patrol and Lure of the Ring suddenly and Morgul Wound suddenly all become a threat, which they are not right now. So maybe in the long run that will actually work out well for Will. I think actually having seen, yeah, if I was in this situation, I probably would just take the rerolls rather than declaring, just because at least, yeah, the power of these cards is greater than 1 reroll in my mind. Second move, 3 miss. Osgiliath from the North Athelian army. Gandhi does activate Rohan. Okay, nice. I've just realised, has the Shadow not got the Witch King? I feel like the Elves have been at war for ages. I can't remember what dice roll the Shadow had last time, but did they not get a single muster? Either way, they should definitely be getting the Witch King this turn with that hybrid. Scouts away to Pelargir. That's nice. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Guess there's an argument for going into Minas Tirith, but at least this makes Pelargir a thing. Could be good for like a help unlooked for, or if you don't get the chance to muster in Dol Amroth. Also, again, it doesn't activate her own because it's not a serious stronghold. That was my thinking. Yeah, I thought it was. You can't just do it in some random spot. I thought it had to be like Edoras or Helm's Deep. Well, that was a stupid move then, says Will. I'm dumb. Gandhi can't muster anyone, only activate. Right. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's like Hobbits and Gandhi can activate. places like the Rohan, I believe, but I don't think they can muster. Yeah. Dale is now attacked. The free people have just used their scouts, but there's no guarantee here. Only going to roll 6 dice. They do get the 6. Will gets a hit back. Yeah, takes it. But this is a small army. 1, 2, 3. Could shadows gather here? That would be quite a nice shadows gather if you want to try and buff up this army. The only thing is this isn't actually that big an army in itself. So you might want to... it's tricky. You almost want to move to here and then, but like, you know, muster here and then do it. But that even in itself feels quite slow. All right. By the way, for anyone listening to this, that was from South Rune to East Rune. Right. So the ring is mine. Is drawn. So that's using the Palantir. We get an elite mustered in Erebor. Looks like a situation where Erebor could certainly... Yeah, it's quite... Yeah. This is the danger in a game where the dwarves are at war, putting the north to war, like taking the extra effort. Like in many situations, taking Carrick, attacking Dale, very well and good, worth doing. In a game where you've got quite a small army and the dwarves are at war, you're in, and the Southrons aren't at war either to back you up. You're in danger of the dwarves taking Dale and then reactivating the north in this area of the board and then opening up that force pool. And then next thing you know, you're in a world of pain, my friend. Now we get the Witch King. Witch King goes to Osgiliath, and we go on to turn number 5. 3 people get Smeagol Knight's Master and Aemir. And Shadow gets Black Captain. The King is revealed. What do you get rid of here? Tricky one. Probably King is revealed, I guess. I mean, you kind of need a combat card to play. So maybe you keep that and get rid of one of these cards. You've got 3 to play. Are you going to really play all of them? Maybe you get rid of Morgul Wound, since it's fairly unlikely that you're going to be able to get full value out of it at this point. Gets rid of the King's Revealed. Okay. 3 eyes in the pool. Ton of movements. That's 4 characters and 1 will for Will. FFS, yeah, classic when you get all the characters against 3 eyes. Not what you're looking for. And Will could have really used some musters here, if he wanted to do some mischief with the dwarves in the north, or even just muster in hell, even just muster in Dol Amroth, just to get that base covered. Right, Horn of Gondor goes onto the board. That makes perfect sense. Black Captain commands, decides to go for MT, and Minas Tirith goes under siege. The Fellowship moves against 3 eyes. I think that makes sense. Jake can't hit anything on the hunt at the moment. Not since those 2 hits on the first turn. Neither of which are a reveal. What's going on here? Far Harad goes to Near Harad. And the army from South Athenian goes to Osgiliath. South ones go to war. Musters in Dol Amroth. South goes to South Rune, mustering in South Rune, probably prepping for a Shadow's Gather. Yeah, so this turn are going to be different. You might have been able to do something in Dale, but now, presumably, Jake's going to probably use this Palantir to Shadow's Gather into Dale and just kind of quash that somewhat. Hunt moves again against 3 eyes. That's pretty brave, and it's worked out very well. Yeah, Jake is having a really rough hunt. Shadow's Gather is indeed played to Dale. Will says, how did I not see that coming? Yeah. What was I talking about, South Rune? Of course, you can muster. I forgot that you can muster in South Rune for a minute earlier. Oh, did he use a ring to do that? I think that's worth a ring. I must have missed something there. Fellowship moves again? Oh boy. I think in a game like this where the military is going so slowly for the shadow, I don't think you need to tempt fate and move again, because what's going to happen here is, let's have a look, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to get revealed into like somewhere around dead marshes, whatever. But I'd be, what's the hunt pool like? It's very likely that you get hit and get revealed. And then when you get hit and get revealed, who knows what will happen? Maybe you get a 3-tail, maybe, or maybe, yeah, and you lose Strider to a random, and then everything slows down. And then he plays Orc Patrol on you, and then they play Lure of the Ring on you, and then Strider dies. If he didn't die before, he then dies. And it just kind of opens you up to a world of... I mean, I've said a world of pain already, this game. I can't say that again. It opens you up to a realm of badness that would, like, is unlikely to happen. You know. And you don't need to rush. I just don't think you need to rush. Like, you can muster an Erebor. Woodland Realm's buffed. Rivendell's good. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. No rush. Of course, you get triple hit. Now it's going to be like an eye. Yeah. Standard. That's the other thing you open yourself up for, and roll on 4s against 3 dice. Big eyes. Big eyes. So now you're going to have to probably either eat 2, which gets corruption high, by assuming you play Horn of Gondor, or you do a random, and that's going to get corruption high as well, most likely. Yeah. And you got to get another tide as well. 1 reveal. And then you have to eat that. Random on a 1! Will, I say it every time, you're a goddamn wild man. Why would you do a random on a 1 when you got Strider, boy? What is this? I don't get it. I mean, I understand you not wanting corruption to creep up, but... Mate, that's so risky. Like, I would always eat the 1. But hey, you know, you said it before, you're a gambler. The gamble kind of came off. Not great value, not great efficiency, but it's okay. Okay, that's nice. Right, so... Oh, yeah, so when you did all your hybrid... Yeah, see, when you did the hybrids earlier, did you not move Iron Hills in here? See, you rather move this guy to Bree. See, yeah. That's unfortunate. See, you're quite a small army as well, relatively speaking, getting this under siege. If you'd had that guy in there... Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you got unlucky with the dice this turn, Will. Very unlucky with the dice. And whilst I probably shouldn't have moved. No. No. I don't think you should have moved there. But oh well. I mean, Jake says it went rough for sure. Yeah. And then I think Jake's going to make it a lot rougher for Will in the following turn. Return of the Witch King, Candles of Corpses. So you're getting some nice... It's going to be a lot... I think there's going to be a lot of corruption action happening in the next couple of turns. Through the end of night. And another Ent card. If only Gandalf was in Fangorn. Although I guess you can use them in combat. Jake says, I'm surprised he didn't declare into Morian earlier. Will says slow. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I think Will was doing fine. But I think no need to move the 3rd time. Alright, so 3 eyes in the box. We'll get a much more balanced roll this time. Lots of Palantirs. I mean, to be honest, this is going to be... Given how slow the military is for the Shadow at this point anyway, a bunch of Palantirs to throw at the Fellowship isn't that bad at all. Will hides. Now, I guess you do what? Start with Orc Patrol. Yeah. Is a 2. Okay. See, if you hadn't gone random before, you'd have a bigger pool to play with. Now you probably do have to go random again. If you went random on a 1, surely you do a random on a 2. Mary, okay. That's alright. Hobbit pops out into Western Imminmule. Fellowship moves. They're hit. Owie. It's a 3. Double owie. Will's just like, why the fuck did I move? Yeah, man. Yeah. Do you mean move this turn or mean previously? I think moving this turn is not crazy. You want to, even like if you're moving slowly in general. If you're playing one of those games against 3 eyes with the shadows being super corruption heavy, you got to move once a turn. Otherwise, you never get into Mordor, and they can just put 3 eyes in every turn, right? So moving once is fine. But yeah, I'm not going to repeat myself by the previous turn. So Will is starting to tilt. He's just like, I fucking threw. So yeah, he's obviously referring to the previous move for last turn. Now we get Candles of Court. So yeah, that move has opened up all of these cards. Candles only gets a 1, which isn't too... but yeah, he's also holding a ton of C cards. Yeah, so basically Will is saying all the things that I've just been saying to himself in the chat. Must Impeligate. Minas Tirith is attacked with the Witch King army. What do you play here? Given you've got... Actually, I was gonna say you could play Relentless Assault, but you got rid of this Relentless Assault. Got to be the Swarm of Bats, really, since you want to throw all these at the Fellowship. And probably play Confusion. A Valor. Okay, that's reasonable. I think I would have preferred to keep that to Muster, though. I think, yeah, 3 Rohan Regents. That's the one you can play in Helm's Deep. So that's got good value, actually. I would have definitely kept that and played Confusion, because I don't think that's going to get played. Cancelled anyway. 1 hit for Jake. 2 hits back for Will. Kills the elite. Presses. Yeah, you've got big reinforcements. Why not? And draws into Ologhai. We get it. They are terrible against Confusion this time. Jake does 2 hits and then 1 on the reroll, so 3. That's very good. And Will does... Oh, there were no 1s for the Confusion. Will does 2 back, but yeah, looks pretty hopeless for Minas Tirith at this point. Will passes, mustering in near Harad, so that is getting to be a very big Oliphant army. Will draws a strategy card. That's okay. I mean, power to grade is great. Too great, in fact. But you might want to save that for potential blocking cruel weather, I think, because it's fairly likely that next turn you'll move once, probably not get revealed into Morannon, and that opportunity to change the turn order could be a cruel weather blocker. Although having said that, Will needs to be really slow now. Needs to be really slow, so maybe you need to just take your time regardless. The ring is mine. It goes into the pool. I think that might be the second red tile. Well, oh, Willie baby, you're going for Mordor against 3 eyes with a corruption on 7. Oh boy. Oh boy. The awkward thing is here is that there's lots of small tiles left as well. So small tiles are nice, but they do mean that you get corruption creep, and this could get up to like 8 or 9 very shortly. Jake gets another. Oh, it's gonna be another eye. Oh, and it's another eye for a 2. Oh, that's the almost as bad as it gets. Pretty much as bad as it gets, other than 3. Into Morannon, thinking random. You've been lucky with the reveals. It's probably going to be Legolas. Oh, you get Strider this time. Okay. And okay, also get so some bad luck, some good luck. Legolas, the lonely elf, leads the hobbits into Mordor. 4. This is some excellent Oliphant factory work, Jake. You're doing the Lord's work, just churning out those Oliphants in Near Harad. Love to see it. Smeagol helps Nice Master, goes into the pot, and we go on to turn number 7. So that was yeah. I think Will just... I think I wouldn't have moved twice this turn as well. I think it's kind of the same mistake you made before. I know that obviously you want to take the opportunity to get into Mordor, but corruption is a serious issue now. Now you're going to Mordor, and like the odds of you getting revealed there were pretty high again, getting revealed. Now you're going in with net 5 corruption. You don't have any of the night. Oh, you got mithril. Okay. And it's a mixed pool. Not a good looking pool. It's not a bad looking pool though. It's really not a bad looking pool. You've got the 2 excellent golem tiles. Yeah, I think it's a fine pool to be honest. I mean the red tiles aren't good, but you've got mithril to help with those. I think I'd say that's actually probably an above average pool. Well, the reds balance out, but not a horrendous pool, put it that way. 3 eyes again. Fellowship fucked. So they disagree about the extent to which the Fellowship is fucked. Fellowship hides in Mordor. Character died to play another red tile. Okay, now the pool is looking really quite nasty. I think I'd be tempted to actually, yeah. Normally I'd try and move to stop more red tiles being put in, but once one's already been added, you just play mithril straight away and before you move. Maybe you don't even move this turn, to be honest, since you've already hidden. Gondor Elite to Peligir. Okay, starts marching armies towards Peligir from near Harad to West Horondor. So it's going to be a big old battle in Gondor. Going to be very, very well defended. The Shadow do have very big forces, but I'm not sure this was the best target to invest all these musters in and stuff. I think as the if I had all these musters, looking at the board state, I would have not been targeting this. I would be targeting this. This is a lot weaker. Don't know where else you really target, to be honest. There's only one more big boy left here. You could muster, start mustering in Moria, and then you can go either way. Yeah, not sure. Not sure. Osgiliath from Peligir. Osgiliath from Peligir. Wow. Amazing. Very exciting. Let's see what cards they can play. So, nothing really playable for the Shadow. Will hasn't really got any... And what can you really play there? Not much either, to be honest. No card, no cards. Will rolls a sea of turds. And Jake rolls 1 back. Pressing. Stays. Rolling 5s. So this is only actually, what, like a 7 HP army against a 5 HP army. It looks a lot bigger than this. It is really not. And you're also opening up the pathway to this. Even if you go here. Not sure what the plan is here. Plays a Power 2 Great, which is a really, really useful card for slowing down the military if the Shadow ever does go for this, which at some point the Shadow would be wise to do, I think. That's the only way they're going to get the victory points they need. Because these 2 armies, you've kind of split the difference here. Neither of these armies is big enough to take either of these strongholds. So this is very awkward for the Shadow. Yeah, I think the Shadow military is just very awkward in general. I would have just been going 1 move, super slow with the Fellowship. 3 hits though. Okay, let's see what Jake does back. 2. I guess he's almost obliged to press here. Stays. Will rolls nothing. So good. Jake rolls 2 hits back. Yeah, I think I would be stopping now. I would be cutting my losses because where are these guys going? Where are they going? Oh, Will, your rolls have really deserted you here. What a bunch of fucking horseshit. 2 hits back. He says GG. Right, yeah, the language is coming out here. -6 attacks. That was insane. I mean, you were very, very unlucky there. But I don't know where you're going, man. Where you going? You're not going to get into Mordor with that army when he had 1 million musters, and he had this absolute, phalanx of mighty, proud Oliphants, staring you in the face. Where are you going, my man? Where are you going? Okay, well, this would have been Pelgri from SE. I'm confused about what's going on there. Is that going to be the Oliphants? They get a hit back. I mean, SE meant South runs on Easterlings. Okay. So that would have been a hard fight. And that would have also nicely defended Dol Amroth. But they decided to commit Harikiri and charged into Osgiliath. It's just having like a meltdown at this point. Excellent. They will all burn. I will say, well, your games crack me up the most. 100%. You make me laugh the most. Minas Tirith is attacked. Surely it's going to get finished off here. Well, not necessarily, actually. What cards we... Oh, you got a Great Host as well. Perfect. Yeah, it probably is going to get done here. Yep, you get the 2 hits that you need. Perfect. Will gets 1 back. And now I'd say... now military is a bit more on the table. Because these armies can definitely take Dol Amroth now, I think. Especially if... no, there's no... you had to use the mouth to do that already. But yeah, I think, yeah, Dol Amroth is 100% takeable now. That gets you up to 6. 6 plus Rohan, you know, that could be 9. They're not going to hold... yeah, then they'll hold that. And then just get one of these 2 up here. Maybe... It's tricky, though, because he can easily do a sortie. If you these Barmies are both so kind of thin on the ground, if you move any of them from one to the other, you're risking a sortie. What's going on here? Mustering in Orthanc. Right, yeah, that needs to be done. That needs to be done. Balrog, okay, that could be good if you do decide to take Lorien at some point. Mustangs of Long Plan War. And we get, there is another way, very, very opportune timing for that card. And Power of Tommy B. Kills House the Stewards, yep, makes sense. A very muster heavy roll. Muster and Palantir heavy roll for the Shadow. Probably want to be playing your Attack the Fellowship cards here. The only one of which you now have is Morgul Wound. Bit tricky, actually. Though the red tiles could well prove useful. Quite a big pool, though. And Will gets a ton of movement against this many eyes. I know you're worried about Day Without Dawn, but at this point, I'd actually... Because you've got so many characters, what are you going to do with all those characters, man? I think I'd actually risk Day Without Dawn. And... because you need that Day Without... You need that to muster something somewhere, maybe. 1, that's fine. Really? Really? I don't think I would have killed... I think I would have kept him. I think at this point you've got to be really efficient. Okay. You want to get down to Gollum to... But then you're revealed already. So you can't even reveal. Wait, that should have been revealed. Oh, no. Okay. You're doing it so you're not revealed because you go to Gollum and then the tile doesn't reveal you. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I get it. And that actually works quite nicely because that means he can't Morgul Wound you. You're going to get Morgul Wounded at some point, though. Okay, this army starts charging for Dol Amroth. Now you're going to get 1 muster into Dol Amroth. Okay, so Will doesn't get I guess Will's kind of giving up a little bit on Dol Amroth and getting a leader into here because Will wants to go on a charge with this army somewhere. Where's it going? Is it going to Moria? Is it going to Mount Gundabad? I don't know. But when Shadowhead's holding this many musters, I don't think there's much his army can do. I guess you could attack into Troll Shores and try and help Rivendell. Might be about as good as you can do with any of these cards, to be honest. Not got much you can do with these character dice. So at least you're getting value for these 3 dice by doing that, even if it's not great value. Flips the mouth to attack Dol Amroth. Nice. You don't have much time. I think you've got more time than you think, my man. Even if this gets up to 6, where are the other victory points coming from? Okay. Rohan's the one I'd be worried about. So yeah, I suppose time might become an issue, but this isn't a great role for military for Shadow. So Shadow's basically doing nothing this turn military wise. Draws Break of the Fellowship. Okay. We get another mustering in Orthanc. Yeah. So Rohan is now very much on the table. Okay, that's a good move. That's a good play. Getting so you can actually get this army in Helm's Deep. Super Musterage and Orthanc. Yeah. Moves. Okay, that's good. Threatens Ents and gets the Hobbit almost into position. Probably move the Hobbit in here with the last move of the turn, I guess, and then you can move the Hobbit with the army into Helm's Deep next turn. Olokai is played up into Woodland Realm. Solid. War's kind of out of options. I think I would have moved the Hobbit in there. I'm not sure what this army really does or threatens. I guess the one thing the most useful thing you can do with this army in my mind is moving to Holland and then blocking like Shadow Lengthens. That's like about as good as it gets. Or going the long way around to try and get into Rivendell to defend Rivendell. Oh, Jake, okay, draws Grond. But the Witch King isn't anywhere useful right now anyway to do that. I thought for a second you could play Grond with the final Palantir. Okay, I'll go it alone and King Brands. Horde from the East. And Nazgul Strike is discarded. 0 eyes added, so that's great for Will. But he rolls no movement. Oh my god. Oh boy. Yeah, Will says objectively hilarious at this point. Yeah, it was pretty funny, man. Not gonna lie. Hey, but you got there was another way. That's great. And if you want to move twice, you can use the ring. You got 3 rings. It's okay. It's all good, man. You draw 1. Beautiful. Revealing feels like a bad idea for some reason. Yes, you sense the Morgul Wound. You sense the Heart of Darkness in the hand of the Shadow player. See what... Yeah, with that move for free with the heal, I'll just take it. I think that's... When you've got Mithril, that's kind of reasonable. I mean, I suppose both of these do 1 damage. And you can't hide. Okay, yeah, the fact that you can't hide without using a ring... You'll be in big trouble if you use a ring to move and then get revealed. Then he can just spam you with this stuff. Black Captain commands to Erebor. Oh, no. No. I think that is a bad idea. I've just realized this whole time Will has had Iron Hills. You could have been mustering there. I'm not sure how many musters you've had in the last few turns, but that is can be a very, very annoying spot for the Shadow, especially a small Shadow army like that one. You could have, at some point, that could have been a great mustering spot, maybe. But I think Will's mostly been rolling like characters recently, so yeah, maybe hasn't had the chance. Okay, speak of the devil. There we go. Attacks Dolemroth. Yeah, no, this is a mistake, I think. Once this starts happening, you gotta snuff it out. Especially, this is a precarious army as it is. He's got a bunch of musters. You got these bad boys waiting to, jump out at you. Oh, this could go badly. I mean, luckily for the Shadow, they have a ton of musters, so they can just, reactivate the old Oliphant factory this time in Northrune. And start sending, but that's going to be slow. Yeah, I think Will's inevitably going to keep mustering elites here, and it's going to become a huge thorn in the side of the Shadow in the coming turns. And also, you haven't got many attacks either. So what could easily happen is he must again. You attack into it, it goes here, and then with the final attack thing, he can then go into Dale. Open up the Dale Force Pool. Yeah, like, one thing Shadow really didn't want to happen this game is let Jews slip through their fingers. Deadly Strife, appropriately used in in Dol Amroth against Tommy Bombadil's advantageous position, special edition. Good roll for Jake, very good roll. Not such a good reroll. So, oh wait, no, not a good roll at all because of the perfect Tommy Bombadil advantageous position. Oh my good god, that's a bad one. But I think he hasn't realized how many rerolls he actually needs to make. Wait, you get loads more rerolls. You should get 4 rerolls, right? Yeah, I think Jake simultaneously took into account the advantageous position, but didn't take into account how it affects the rerolls. Am I getting this right? Oh no, I'm talking nonsense. It's because he just doesn't have any bloody. I just assumed he had 5 rerolls here. He only has 2 rerolls. Okay. Yeah, I would never use a Deadly Strife. When you have the opportunity to use it somewhere when you have 5 rerolls, when you only have 2, it just feels like a bit of a waste. Although I suppose you just think you can just press it. But now this one's pretty dodgy. Pretty dodgy now. Desperate Battle, that could do the job. 3, that might be enough to get you over the line. Especially if Will rolls like that. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be enough. No carding it though. Needs the 6s. Gets 2. Yep, okay. Insane rolls. I mean, I think Shadow was heavily favourite with those cards to get that over the line. You would definitely expect to get that done. Will had pretty bad rolls back though, I think. Yep, this is happening up in Iron Hills. Ooh, he can keep mustering. Okay, well the North Rune Oliphant thing's happening. Okay, so maybe that's actually, now that it's grown this big, maybe the play is actually to just muster, move here, and then attack into it from here. You don't want to attack. You definitely at this point don't want to attack from this army into this army. What Will might do, though, is attack from Iron Hills into this, which could potentially open it up for a sortie. Not sure what the best option is here. Oh, no, sorry. Even better. Go for Dale. Yeah, great play. That's a much better play. Will rolls rubbish. Does mean they can get slightly reinforced Woodland Realm, but Dale is retaken. These 1 and 9 hills to be annoying. Be annoying, right? Yep. Always. Horde from the east. Ah, yeah, forgot you had that. Very handy. Will passes. More mustering in North Rune. How many musters have the Shadow rolled this game? +5. Yeah, really feels like it. You sure have a big army, sir. Says Will. I think you'll be alright. Jake says can never be too big. So wait. Attacking to Iron Hills from where? From here? Where are you? Okay, so then I guess you're sending this 5 to there, and then these guys are going there. Okay, that works out quite nicely. Gets the hit. 1 hit back. Sends them all. Yep, very good, very good. He's still got the mouth's ability, so you could. I would probably move this army here and this army here, using the mouth. Really feels like I should move, but man, pass. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, tricky one. You definitely want to move with the last action. That's 100% for sure. Yeah, I can wait at least. Does exactly what I described up here. Iron Hills goes to Erebor, and North Rune goes to the Vale of Karnan. We get a Grondage, major Grondage action. So, what cards have the Shadow got? Nothing good. Nothing good. This could be a... I mean, Shadow's probably going to be fine. But if Shadow rolls badly, this could be a dangerous Grond. Do they want to play their Breaking the Fellowship? I mean, it would be a Dread and Despair would be great in this situation. But do you want to save that for trying to throw it at the Fellowship? He does want... Going for the Black Breath. If you're going to play one of them, play the Breaking. I mean, these 2 cards are essentially the same card at this point in terms of their actual card effect. But Dread and Despair is significantly more useful in combat here than a Black Breath, I think. Or maybe not significantly, but better, especially as it was the first roll. Jake's Rod and Hot, though. Gets 2 in the leader, so that's probably killed any chances of Erebor surviving. 1 hit back. Yeah, Erebor looks doomed now, I would say. Round 2. Draws into Ring Racer Abroad. Okay. Rolls 1-6. Will gets none back. What are Will's dice like? I feel like his dice have been terrible. We can't see, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the other dice. Very balanced dice for the free people. Palantirs and yeah, so not great dice for the Shadow by any stretch of the imagination. Although the Palantirs have been kind of useful at times for the corruption game. Right, round 3. Jake is kind of taking it gradually. Oh, now all Will's hits come at once. 1 versus 4. There we are. Yeah, you're not used to seeing that from me, huh? Such a tough call here. Yeah. Tricky one. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so the combat stopped. Will decides to use the ring. You do have the mithril coat. He can use his ring to play breaking and get corruption up 1 if you get revealed. It is an eye, which is fine. 1 reveal up to 8. We'll use the ring to play breaking. Get him up to 9. Very nice. Okay, so now very, very close to death. With mithril in hand, though. Draws into a pretty useless wizard staff and Imrahil. Too late. Shadow. This could be important. Gets dreadful spells. That could be good up here. And Pits of Mordor. Will does not like his cards, which, yeah, to be fair, are pretty damn useless. Oof, not getting the rolls, the action dice rolls. So we were saying how balanced these were, but Will was getting all of the movement, often on turns when there were tons of eyes in the box in the mid game. Yeah. King Brands, nice. I forgot you had King Brands. That's great. Draws into Kiran ships, which is also just a bit too late. Dale from Vale. Plays Charge. That could be good. Pre, it's not good. Jake rolls nothing. And oh, they both roll nothing. I also thought that was the re-roll. He's thinking he decides to stay. Yeah, where can you even go, to be honest? You might as well just try and get this army down. Shadow is going to play probably a Desperate Battle, I presume. Desperate Battle against Shield Wall. Good use of a Shield Wall, I imagine. So yeah, that was a good Shield Wall. So just the 1 hit. Will gets 2 back. So now it's 3 against 5. Presses, also stays. No card, no card. 2 hits from Jake. Will says, come on, man, please. After no one hits. Now they're even. Will's losing his mind. 1 hit each. Stay, no card, no card. 1 hit from Will, none from Jake. These fights are hilarious, he says. And Will finishes the job. They survive against, certainly against the odds towards the end. I mean, yeah, Shadow was favourite from a certain point. Can now muster up. Then, yeah, this is, yeah, shows what that pesky guys in Iron Hills, the power of the pesky Iron Hills dwarf. It's completely reopened the Dew line. I think Shadow should probably be fine, but now Shadow's kind of obliged to attack. That's maybe not, actually, because where do you attack from? Probably have to attack from the Witch King. Yeah, I think the smart play was to attack from the Witch King army. What's the Dwarven Force pool like now? It's empty. So yeah, you can safely attack from this army, but you need to attack now. You need to attack like right now. If it gets any bigger, you could be in big trouble, and you could actually genuinely like risk losing the Witch King. Witch King's Dale, yes. What cards have you got? Nothing good. Nothing good at all. Let me alone, he says. Now you're obliged to play. What are you playing? Can't play. You're going to play Words of Power? To cycle cards? That makes sense, actually. Makes a lot of sense. He scouts away. I'm not staying for that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I would have stayed because you're running on 3 dice. Couple of hits there. It's going to be very, very hard for them to take down this. You know, even just a couple of hits, and he's down to what, like 4 HP against 3 HP? Maybe Erebor doesn't fall. And this army's barely big enough to take this, so yeah. Any hits against this army, I guess you could just be annoying though and then go, what does he do now? Moves 2. Okay, that's awkward. But now, yeah, but okay, fair enough. It's the same difference. He still probably can't take Erebor. He needs to get one of those forward mustering cards. He's still got maybe Half-Orcs and Goblin Men still out there. Sorts out Helm's Deep with a hybrid die. The Desires drawn. Will flips the Fellowship. Dreadful Spells is played. Oh yeah, that might be enough if he gets lucky. He does not get lucky. No hits with the Dreadful Spells. That almost never works for me, they say. The Elephant Factory, it's on its 3rd cycle, this time in Northrune. Keeps happening, double mustering. Erebor is attacked. Oof. Cycling cards again. Nazgul's a useless Nazgul Search. Jake gets 2 hits on 6 dice. That's very lucky. Will gets 1 back, but that okay, you can't do it now, but that was very lucky basically. But now you're getting all of the kind of useless. They are terrible and useless, but what the Shadow is probably looking for is stuff like Isildur's Bane, I imagine. Okay, they take a little break. Some nasty shit out there, he says. Erebor's attacked. He's cycling. I think he's just trying to take it down, but also cycling. They Are Terrible is good here. Yep, Jake does the job. Rolling pretty hot. Gets up to 8 victory points. Now, okay, right on the brink. So this really pressures Will to use a ring to move against One Eye. I think I would definitely do that, 100%. Where are the last 2 victory points where are the last 2 victory points going to come from? Well, probably Edoras would be one. But then where'd you get the other one? Helm's Deep's probably your best bet, but he's still been holding these 2 end cards forever and ever and ever and ever. He's got Gandhi Man sitting right there. Tricky one. Yeah, it's one of those games where it's going to be hard for the Shadow to actually get over the line. Not sure if there's an easy target. Helm's Deep's probably on measure the best bet. You could have a go at Woodland Realm, but it's going to be awkward with this army sitting next to you. A help unlooked for would be huge for the 3 people right now. Although they might just win a ring victory quite easily, and if he gets lucky with this tile draw. It's a very lucky tile draw. That was pretty dumb AF as me. I don't think that was dumb. When you've got Mithril Coat and you're 2 steps away and there's 1 eye in, it's never going to get better if you want to have a chance at a ring victory. And that's the only way you're going to win this game. You're not going to get a 3 people's military victory, barring a miracle. So I think that was absolutely fine. Okay, but another ring into a card. At some point, the Shadow drew into Foul Thing, which is very nice. Oh, and it's a 2 reveal. That is big. That is big. Gotta think. All right, let's have a look at this pool. So Will's probably thinking, could use Mithril Coat for this, because going up to 2 corruption. Okay, he could eat 1 and then hide first thing next turn. That might be the play. Eat 1 corruption, hide, then move, and then you've got two shots at winning the game. Or you take a big gamble and hope that you get a better tile. I mean, how many tiles are better here? This would be amazing. So there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be great. No, actually, there's a lot of good tiles here, to be fair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 6, maybe 6 that would be better. I can't be odd. Actually, let me count them up. Give me a sec. I'll do the whole thing. Okay, so in essence, there are only 2 tiles that Will could... If he plays Mithril here, there are only 2 tiles he could draw that are actually worse than the tile he's just drawn. So it's the odds would be heavily in his favour if he does do the foul thing. And even if he hits like this red, that's pretty... and gets rid of the red. Yeah, so he goes to the Mithril. I think this is a solid decision actually. Ooh, okay. You bastard. Okay, but you say that, but it means that you're 1 step away. It just means you haven't got the... Okay. Well, it's all gonna come down to how many eyes the shadow rolls. Oh, and the eye goes back in there. Right, okay. Shadow draws into Day Without Dawn, Panther of Orthanc. 3 people get Axe and Bow in last battle. Okay. Will gets 1 move. There's 3 eyes though. Oh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Okay. So I'm going to count them up again. Alright, so as things stand, Will has a 40% chance to win the game if he moves right now. He could try and prolong it. Although if he doesn't move this turn, then he eats a corruption anyway, which means that all it would take would be the shadow to just roll 2 eyes next, or just 1 additional eye next turn on 10 dice, and he's going to the same exact situation. So unless Will wants to do what happened in the previous game, I think there was a situation, maybe it was a Will game or a different game, you could sit there for ages and then go hunting for stuff like Bilbo Song. But I mean, how many? There's only 1 card. I guess Athelas. There are 2 cards that could help you. One you might roll trash. The other one, it's in a 1 in 12. You've got a 1 in 12 chance of getting it this turn. Meanwhile, the shadow has Lidless Eye. No, that doesn't make any difference actually. I think I would just move and just go for it. Oh, okay. Sorry. I keep forgetting this. Yeah, you can just draw and hope for blue tiles. Yeah, that's a smart. This is exactly the same that happened in the last game. Yeah. The odds can get better because obviously you can draw search for blue tiles. So now you can play a blue tile using this, and then you can move. And it goes up to 5 and 11 chance of winning. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. There's no fucking way. Just drew it. Unfucking believable. This is not my game. It could be your game, man. Could be your game. You know? You play the oven rope. And you can just use a ring. It's the same difference. Same difference, really. I suppose you could have had 1 more card draw, but yeah. Needed Bilbo. GG. Uses the ring. And it's an eye. And Will loses. Ah. And then the last card is so... Oh, mate. So if he hadn't had Day Without Dawn, you would have had a Will and a Palantir. You would have used the Palantir to draw a card. You would have drawn Bilbo Song, played it with the Palantir, used the ring to move, and you would have won the game. Oh, mate. That is so War of the Ring. That is so War of the Ring. Yeah, I mean, you know what happened here, Will. Like, you lost it with the second you did that 3rd move. You got greedy. You got greedy going through Moria. Because yeah, as you can, it came down to such fine margins. He never got Cruel Weather anyway. So, and like, Military did get close. To be fair, Military did get close. So maybe, but there were other times when you could have, risked it an extra move in Mordor, or it didn't have to be that move, because that move was kind of colossal. Yeah. Arguably the second move into Mordor as well. I think there's a strong argument for taking the time there as well. And I think the Shadow for Jake, I think a couple mistakes around. Yeah, I think that this plan never was going to work, and the Iron Hills thing. Yeah, that's just that's a definitely a lesson in how dangerous that guy can be in the right set of circumstances. Yeah, maybe Will was actually waiting for his moment to get multiple musters to try and do something meaningful with that. Because that guy, that really prolonged the game. But yeah, thanks for showing, Will. I laughed a lot, so yeah, cheers for that. It was fun to observe, and cheers for watching, everybody. See you around. Let's have a quick look at the statistics. So by the end, again, yep, super high on Palantirs and Musters for the Shadow, and fairly balanced for the free people, pretty balanced. And that's the game. That's a wrap. Ciao, ciao.